me tell you a story.
Welcome to My Skeptical Sister.
I'm Megan, the skeptical one.
I'm Erin, the believer. You kept me very busy this weekend. We have stuff to talk about.
Oh, I didn't know we would talk about it.
I don't know how much we're allowed to talk about it. It's your thing.
Pretty under wraps, but you are the craft maker, so I had to call you into action.
I didn't realize it until I looked at my calendar that Christine made me start writing down. I have the busiest schedule every weekend starting from last weekend.
Yeah, you are a socialite, a little social butterfly.
I don't love it. I'm very busy. When am I going to relax and do nothing?
Mm-hmm. November was my month to do nothing, and then it still got filled up.
Yeah.
God, crap. Maybe I'll try for January.
Yes. Well, I won't give any details away about what we did on Saturday, but I did craft with you for a very long time. Mm-hmm. And then you hoodwinked me into going out for the second night in a row like a real partier. Mm-hmm. It was a blast.
Oh, you had the time of your life. I had the time of my life. So I can just tell you the premise of what we were doing.
Okay, great. Fill everybody in.
So Jack, you guys know him from, I don't know, episode 122. I have no idea. How many episodes do we have?
This will be 158.
Oh, wow. So maybe it was 122.
I think it was earlier on.
Okay, well, let's say episode 98. Let's go with that one. I mean,
go back
and listen. Go back and listen. What's going to
Yeah,
hurt?
you listen and tell us. Ooh, that's smart. That's smart.
Yeah, say thank you. I mean, I said say thank you.
Thank you.
Say thank you to me.
Thank you.
I meant to say, see, you're welcome. Okay. Anyway, Jack, my former roommate, Erin's boss.
Yeah.
Very strange. We like to keep things very tight-knit here. Anyway, we have done, this is, I think, our 12th year doing our awkward family photos. Mm-hmm. And it all started back when Jack and I worked at the same school together. And then we started commuting together. This was before we lived together. And people started gossiping that they thought we were a couple. I was the only one at the time that knew that Jack was gay. So we thought that was hilarious. We both thought, this is so funny. So just to mess with everybody, then we moved in together. So it was like, we had this one art teacher. We called her Artsy Fartsy because one time she let a fart slip out and she was the art teacher.
I know. It really has put me in a weird position where I can never let a fart slip out.
Oh, you can't ever. You would be artsy fartsy for the rest of your life.
I know. I've given up tooting.
I mean, she was doing like the tooting walk. Like oh, and there's like, oh, it's so embarrassing because, like the more you step, the more they're going to come out. But you're like, I got to get away. I got to get away from this. But what's going to happen? I'm going to walk and step, toot, 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 toot.
Yeah.
Oh, but it was hilarious. Of course, that was also when I was way younger and not at the age where those walking toots happen a lot more frequently these days. But not as funny. Not as funny as they used to be.
That poor woman was in the wrong place by the wrong people.
Oh, she really was. Now, we tried really hard not to laugh audibly
to her face.
To her face. We just, for the rest of forever, we will talk about artsy fartsy. So anyway, if you're listening out there, thank you for all the laughs. But anyway, artsy fartsy especially, she just could not, every time she would see us at faculty meeting, she would smile at us like, oh my gosh, you are the cutest little couple. Like she just couldn't wait for us to like get married. So when we moved in together, you just heard like people whispering about it. Like, oh my gosh, did you hear they moved in? Like it's happening. And so we decided to really mess with them and send out a Christmas card as though we were like almost like engagement photos, but just real tacky, like really, really tacky photos. So anyway, it just snowballed from there and we've done lots of different themes and they're rarely Christmas related, which makes it ridiculous. And they're always after Halloween. So we typically dress in costume and go out in public and really confuse people because they're like, wait, it's November. It's not October.
Yeah. I won't say what Jack was, but as your photographer, I got in on the secret. I got to see it.
Yeah.
He was a recognizable character. And the next morning I went to brunch with some girlfriends and I was telling them about the night. And she was like, oh my gosh, I need you to find a picture and send it to my husband because I told him we just drove past insert character name and he didn't believe me. He was like, why would you see that? And she's like, I swear I just saw it at Big Bar. I was like, yeah, that was us.
Yep. And he's like, no, I mean, not Halloween. That makes no sense.
You probably also saw Megan, but you had no idea that you saw her.
I was very camouflaged. So if you guys can piece this together, oh my gosh, we could give like just from those clues alone, if you can guess what we are. I was very camouflaged and he was a very recognizable character, but we went together.
Yeah.
Oh man, have I never laughed so hard. It was
hilarious.
It was pretty funny. So
the faces of everyone you met were my favorite parts.
Yep, me too. The shock and the awe and it
confusion.
Was just great. Confused. Lots of confusion. Oh yeah. Yeah. And then I would finally just get to the point where my costume was very heavy. So I would get to the point where I'm like, okay, I've got to breathe for a little bit. I'm all about commitment, but ever so often I need to just talk and breathe. So I would take this huge costume. Diva. I know, right? I would take and green M&Ms, only the green ones. Remember when wasn't that Mariah Carey? Yeah. She only wanted one color of M&Ms.
Sure. Oh green ones are the best one. They make you horny.
I mean, that's also probably a total lie. Somebody just made that up about her. Who knows? Although, if anybody was a diva, I think it would be her, right?
Yeah, probably. But in a fun way. Like she knows she's a diva.
Sure. Yeah, like you'd laugh at her. She's not going to like throw her phone at you.
Yeah, I don't think she's like mean to people. I don't think. She seems like she seems nice, but like she knows what she wants.
Mariah, if you're listening, just write in. Yeah. Pop in some of those green M&Ms.
You could be our fan favorite. I'm telling you, girl.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't take much.
No.
Come on, get on in here. I'm kidding, fan favorites. Calm down. It takes a whole lot. You really are my
really
favorites.
Have to work on it. But I mean, giving us the best Christmas song of all times is working. I mean, that's it.
Yeah. Then my husband's in love with her, so
that's the best. That is the best Christmas song, right?
Is it the All I Want for Christmas? Is You? I mean, I hear it. It's got to definitely be the most popular one.
That or Hippopotamus. Those are my two favorite Christmas songs of all time.
Mm-hmm. I kind of like the sad Christmas songs.
That's weird.
I like Joni Mitchell. There's It's Coming on Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that song. I could listen to that any time of the year.
Oh, all right.
Anyway, boy, we really
what does that
got
say
there.
About you, I wonder.
Yeah, I don't really actually I really don't enjoy Christmas. I don't enjoy winter time. Like in the dead, like I just told you tonight, I walked over here, I was like, oh, it's too cold. I feel like a little old lady. I like the sunshine. I like all that. So wintertime, I mean, I endure it. It's fine. It's just a lot of hype and it's very stressful.
Yeah, it is very stressful.
I'm like, why don't we just spread this out and like give everybody a gift, like, once a week for the entire year?
Oh gosh, that seems even worse. Just get it out of the way.
Just one little present.
It's so
random.
Consistent.
Oh, it is consistent, but I don't know. It's just a lot. Who knows?
Why don't we just get rid of consumerism?
All of it. Oh, Aaron.
How do we do that?
I feel like Big Brother is going to knock us out of here.
Oh,
like
no.
everyone's going to cancel our podcast.
Just kidding. We love consumerism.
We love it. Yeah, go buy. Shop. Oh, funny. I'm more of an experience. Like I don't like material things too much. I would rather go travel. I would rather go to a concert. Those are the kind of gifts. And right now my kids aren't really at that age.
You can't talk them into like, well, it's closed today because it's Christmas.
Right.
But like in 3 days, we're going to have so much fun at the bounce park. They're like, well, this sucks.
Yeah, they're not into it. They want to open it and that instant gratification. And I'm just not down.
I know. We usually give Kentucky Kingdom season passes on Christmas. And they're like, cool. We have to wait till May.
Can't like, use them at all.
You'll really appreciate this in the summer.
Oh, that's funny. I mean, it is like it's funny because I say that, but as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, it is cute to see them like so excited to get up out of bed and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a whole lot of work on the
I know.
Somebody told me today they love wrapping presents.
Ew.
It's like their favorite pastime. And I thought I had met an alien. I have never heard anybody say that in my life.
I wouldn't trust that person with anything.
I just like to watch Christmas movies and wrap presents. That sounds like my hell.
That is how I do Christmas.
No.
I watch, actually, Kevin and I have a fight every year, whether we'll watch Love Actually or Die Hard. I usually win, but sometimes we watch Die Hard. And
I was going to say, so you have to watch Love Actually.
Well, I know. I should have changed that. I should have swapped it. But then, we wrap all the presents, usually the night before Christmas, which is so stupid. But that's what Mom did. So that's what I feel like I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we could just change some things.
Kevin has slowly talked me into like, let's just do it right now. Like, let's send let's send our kids over to your house and to your house, as in you, Megan.
Oh, that was
this is getting convoluted.
Confusing 2 sentences I've ever heard.
We send our kids over to you or someplace, and then we go. Is there music playing?
I think that's the wind. Well, okay. We just get up and investigate. Like, what could that have been? Because it wasn't windy outside.
That was so weird.
No, only one thing. Could have been a ghost. That's all I think it could have been. I believe. That's all it took.
Wow. Do you think we should mention it on the pod in case you could hear some of that while we were recording?
Oh, I thought you could hear all of it.
I mean, I could hear something, but I couldn't tell what it was.
So if you couldn't hear that sound that stopped us in our tracks, it sounded like this. Yeah, we don't know what it was.
No idea.
It sounded just like that, though.
It really did. It was so
After
weird.
some investigation, it's determined ghosts are real.
No. So
weird.
We're just going to pack up now.
All these stories, all this time, all we needed was that one little sound from your vent.
What would we do if you started believing?
Oh my gosh, I'd have to fake it, I guess. That would be
Oh.
so weird. Oh,
Man, one more thing to fake. What a bummer.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty good at it. It's fine. I'm kidding you all. Okay.
Okay. Well, I don't think I have anything else to talk about. Do you?
I don't, but I am going to say, if you can guess what Jack and I are, and you don't know, like you can't know me because a lot of you were out Saturday night. So if you know, you can't cheat.
Yeah.
But if you can guess what we were, slide into my DM and take a guess. I really enjoyed all the interaction here lately.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like our little Facebook group is really like, they're on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
It's
loving
a fun
that.
place to be.
It is a fun place to be. So I'm really enjoying that. So if you can guess what it is, let's see, I will send you your own card when it comes out. Is that not a big enough crack?
Yeah,
It's
perfect.
like, is that not a big enough?
No,
You
I
looked at
was
me
like,
oh my God, that's so lame.
no, I was trying to figure out. I thought you meant like the card that we send out to like our Patreons.
No, you will get a Jack and Megan
What if
card.
they're already a Patreon? But yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, yep. So there you go. So if you can guess what we are, because I would love to say that I would send everybody one, but these cost some money to make. So now I will just send anybody who can guess what it is. I'll send the first person. Because what if they all just like start flooding in? And I'm like, oh, there you go.
I feel like you have not given enough away.
I know, you never know. People
Maybe the first 6 people.
Okay, the first 6 people to guess what we were.
Okay.
Let's go over what it is. My costume was heavy.
Yeah.
It took us all day to make the costume.
People were shocked
People were
and
shocked,
amused,
amused,
not scared. Well,
yeah, there was a little
I mean-
scary things, some scary things happening.
but not scared like
They weren't like horrified scared.
they were like jump scared.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, it wasn't like, oh, I hate clowns.
Well, you said amused. You're giving a lot
Okay.
away. Like, look, if they start guessing this because of you, then you get to pay for the 6 cards
Okay.
and the stamps.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And I was unrecognizable.
Right. And
Jack-
you camouflage, you said.
I was very camouflaged. Jack is definitely a character that you would know right away if you saw him.
Yeah.
But we went together.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. There's all your clues. So here's a little contest. Erin had her little earrings contest. Still going.
It is still going. In fact, I'm going to switch the date a little bit, just a tiny
Ooh,
bit.
Look at her changing the rules on you all.
It was December 3rd. I'm
Okay.
pushing it back to December 6th. That way, if you're listening in the next couple weeks and on December 4th, when you hear us remind you guys, like, hey, we're almost done, you still have 2 days to get on the ball.
Okay, perfect.
So we're going to move it to December 6th.
Okay, there you go.
And all you have to do for that is become a $5 Patreon. Or if you're already one, you don't have to do anything other than send me a little message on the
Mhm.
Patreon link with the earring saying I'm interested or
Now,
of these.
that's just for a drawing to get the earrings. It's
Right.
not like everybody who becomes that
No.
Patreon
It's
will then get
it's a
it.
drawing. Correct.
Okay, I feel like on our last one, I'm not trying to give feedback or
Oh,
critique
all
too
right,
much,
director.
but it just sounded as though you implied that everybody would get a pair, and I thought, ooh, that
Oh,
doesn't sound like
no,
the right thing to say.
No.
Stephanie's going to be real busy.
Stephanie was ready to get to
and
work here.
We're not paying her, so it's a chance to win those.
A
earrings.
chance to win. Yes.
There
Yeah.
you go.
You get entered into the drawing
Perfect.
by December 6th.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's get down to that's all business. Let's get down to the fun part now.
Right, here we go. You ready for some stories? Are you ready for Sonia's story?
Yes.
Or Sonia?
Sonia. She wrote back on.
Did Sonia write back?
Well, Sandra did.
Yeah, Sandra did. See, that's the problem. It's either Sandra or Sandra. And
no, it is Sandra.
It is Sandra, but we didn't know if it was Sandra or Sandra. And now I don't know if it's Sonia or Sonia.
I would like to talk to their parents.
I mean, they really, really made things difficult for all of us. So last week, our fan favorite was Sonia. And at the very end of her little email, she let us know that she has a TikTok, a 60-second spooky.
Yeah, I need her to tell me what the handle is. Like, how do I find her on TikTok? Did she do that?
I don't think so. And maybe she puts it in here. It just says 60-second spooky stories. And that's the name of the page, I guess, on TikTok. So, I mean, that's all in capital letters. So that's my guess.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll look it up. We'll see if we can find her because we also might need to, if they're supposedly true, we could put those in our TikTok.
I hope you're offended. She did the quotations when she said true.
Well, I mean, Sonia,
if you couldn't hear it.
True spooky stories. You just said spooky stories. I could right now tell you a really spooky story. I guarantee you it's not true. Okay. But anyway, I'm sure Sonia's is.
Yes.
So are you ready?
Me too.
Okay, here we go. We grew up in a haunted house, so haunted that we had a priest perform a blessing. And when that didn't work, my mother reached out to a curanderia. What's a curanderia?
Curandero or curandera. Spain and Latin American, a healer who uses folk remedies.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, they called them in. Or a witch doctor.
Okay.
I had just read 3 words later. We would have had to use Google. Growing up Hispanic and Catholic, there was a fine line between Catholicism and the occult. So it's not unusual to consult with a witch doctor. About 25 years ago, gosh, I feel so old suddenly. Anyway, about 25 years ago, I know, because don't you feel like you're 25?
Yeah, it's so weird. Age is so weird.
It is. So you're like, I'm about 25. And then you say, oh, God, that was 25 years ago? There's no way.
Right.
Anyway, about 25 years ago, my sister, Selena, another sister and another S.
Oh, and it could be
Selena or Selina. My sister, Selena, who is the baby of the family, was dealing with some pretty dark paranormal stuff. It wasn't unusual for her to climb into bed with my parents in the middle of the night. One night, just like many other nights, Selena made her way into my parents' bedroom and curled up between them in bed. When my dad woke up the following morning, he saw her figure under the blankets, but let her sleep. Oh, God. I'm like freaking myself out. I'm like, I don't want to read the next line. Sorry. Like, and then what? Okay.
Just keep reading and we'll find out.
I know, but I don't want to. I'm like, oh my gosh. Later that morning, my parents were at the breakfast table when Selena walked through the front door. My dad was confused. Where had she been so early in the morning? Selena stated that she had spent the night at her friend's house.
Oh my gosh.
My dad became livid and said, no, you were in my bed last night. You were tossing and turning and keeping me up.
Oh.
She was confused too and pleaded with my dad that she wasn't even in the house last night. My dad is a skeptic, and because he could not explain this away, Selena was punished.
Oh, gosh.
Sucks to be her.
Oh, my gosh.
If anyone would like to see my photography or listen to 60-second spooky stories, you can find my link tree on my Instagram account at Miss Ruin, MSRUIN.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, that was a good one.
That is amazing.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so what could that have been? Could it have been like an animal? One of their pets?
Oh.
Like if they have, okay, so if you're thinking
could have been a demon child is where I'm going.
No. Like I'm thinking like what if it was like a bigger dog, like a golden retriever or something that's a bigger in size, not like a little, pug.
But don't you think if that was a possibility, then Skeptic Dad would have figured that out and not punished Selena?
Maybe, unless he was like really convinced that it was her because he sees that like maybe the dog doesn't typically get underneath the blankets. And this dog, this one night, did. And then it was like, oh, that must be Selena because I'm so used to her being in bed with me.
Huh. I don't know. It's so creepy.
I don't know.
Have I told my ghost story that makes me think of that?
I don't know. I'm not inside your brain. I mean, we are very closely linked, but tell me more.
About right after Grandpa died?
No, I don't think you have, which is strange that you have.
It is strange. Because that one freaks me out probably the most. That one scares me the most, so I don't
Maybe
like to think about
but
it.
Tell it again. I mean, listen, it's our podcast, and if you don't want to hear stories retold, you are in the wrong place, friends.
Okay, well, if I've told it before, just skip ahead a little bit.
Get over it.
And sorry, but when right after my grandpa died, our dad started wearing his ring.
You mean our grandfather? Oh yeah, this is such a creepy story.
Yeah, sorry. Our grandfather, right after he died, I was in second grade.
Mm-hmm.
Right after he died, our dad started wearing his pinky ring.
Which is like, what are we all of a sudden in the mafia?
It's always
why
weird
did Grandpa
to me.
Ralphie have a
I don't know, but Dad wears
ring.
it still.
I know. It's so weird.
It's so weird.
It's endearing. I mean, it's so sweet.
It's weird because it's not weird to me. But then I think about my very super white dad.
Super white, like straight
nerdy
laced
dad.
He's like, but I got a pinky ring.
But you can kiss the ring.
All of a sudden, I got a pinky ring, and I don't know what he likes to do. Backhand his hose. What do you do with a pinky ring?
Oh my gosh! I hope not.
I don't know. What do people do with pinky rings?
Golly, you really took it somewhere, didn't you? Okay, so anyways, he was wearing that ring, and I too used to get scared a lot, and so I would go and lay down in their room and sleep in their room. And our mother, I feel like I probably have told this. Our mother used to get in the hot tub all the time.
Naked.
Yeah, totally naked.
Yeah,
naked
she's not so straight-laced. Loose cannon, that one.
That one I could totally picture wearing a pinky ring.
And she would be slapping her hose left and right.
I don't think you could say that.
I don't know if you can or not, but who knows.
Okay, so I crawl into bed and I can hear the jets outside the room. So I know Mom's in the hot tub.
Okay.
And she's not in bed next to me. I can feel her empty side of the bed. Mm-hmm. But I lay down next to Dad and I put my hand out on his hand and I feel his ring. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. I'm not scared anymore. Dad's here. And I start to fall asleep. And right before I do, I hear laughing outside.
It's like, who is Mom naked in the hot tub?
Yeah. And Dad is right here. Wait for a night when he's out of town.
Right? Which would happen often.
I know. It's like, girl, come on. But anyways, I'm like, who is she laughing with? So I still, my hand is still on Dad's hand.
That's the weirdest part.
And then I get up, I look out.
Your hand reached that far. It's so weird.
Not from the door, my hand's on.
You said my hand was still on his hand.
When I decide I'm going to go check on him, I take my hand off of Dad's hand. Okay. I crawl out of bed and I open their back door. Mm-hmm. And of course, they immediately are like, what are you doing? Get back to bed. Because they're probably both naked in that hot tub. Yeah. And Mom and Dad were laying in, or not laying.
Yuck. I don't know what position they were in here. That's disgusting.
Oh, I didn't mean laying. Mom and Dad were both in that hot tub. And we're like, go to bed. And so I immediately ran to my room, got under the covers, scared to death.
Gosh, what? Okay. So now that I'm a skeptic and want to debunk this, what if they had a third party? What if Mom and Dad are swingers?
Oh my gosh.
And that guy was just like too tired. Like, golly, you all, I just got to go take a nap.
I mean, it was dark. Maybe it wasn't Dad in the hot tub.
Ew.
Sounded like Dad.
Yuck. Again, possibility.
Ugh, gross.
Oh, man.
Not that if you're a swinger, it's just our parents being swingers.
Oh my gosh. That is the funniest thought. The funniest thought for so many reasons. Mom and Dad being swingers.
Oh,
but who knows? I mean, the 70s, they were a crazy time.
Yeah. Well, I didn't tell that story for a really long time. And then as an adult, because I told Dad the next morning that had happened and he kind of brushed it off. Uh-huh. And I talked to Dad as an adult and told him, remember that time when this happened? And he was like, yeah, it really freaked me out. I did not like that story at all. I was like, okay, so that really happened. That's not just something my brain made up when I was little. I told Dad about it. Oh.
So weird.
Yeah, spooky.
Only thing I could think of to debunk that, not that you're asking me to.
Never.
It's always fun to
I don't know why you do it after
face to face.
All of these stories.
Is what if you laid down and you slipped into some sort of sleep, some sort of dream, and you in your brain thought Dad was right next to you.
Okay, my debunk for that would be it was really close after Grandpa had died, and it wasn't like I was used to feeling that ring. But when I felt it, I was like, "Oh, that's Grandpa's." I knew it was Grandpa's ring.
Yeah, but your mind's eye could have seen it on Dad. It was noticeable because you don't normally see it. I don't know, whatever. I mean, I'm sure it was Dad or dead Grandpa Ralphie in the bed with you. So strange. I bet he's never been in. Granddaughter you met, what, a handful of times?
I don't know. Something was there and it was creepy.
But it sounds like it was a sweet moment.
It wasn't sweet. It was terrifying. It was so scary.
I'm trying. I'm stretching.
Don't love it. It's really creepy.
Yeah, like what would he do? Why would he do that? What would be the motivation for a ghost to do that?
I mean,
He just got lost?
I was scared.
So he's like, ooh, on the way out, I'm going to really get her one last time.
Maybe he was like, oh, this will be comforting. It wasn't.
Man, don't you hate when you miss the mark? Oh, it's funny. I don't normally tease and joke about sentimental things, but with you, I know that I can.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you can joke about your dead grandpa.
Yeah, we share one.
Right.
And he was also, by the way, one of the funniest guys ever.
Oh, he was hilarious.
Yeah, he used to love to dress in drag.
I'm really bummed that he passed away when I was so young.
He was hilarious.
He would be fun to know now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sounded like such a selfish reason to want him to be living longer.
Yeah, that and for his life.
I would have really enjoyed him.
His life to be meaningful, not just our own.
Oh, goodness.
But also ours.
Okay, I am going to read another Reddit story because I got a couple of those last week when I was hustling.
Nice.
And this one is a little sentimental, so good luck.
Okay, I'll try to do my best.
It's called I Experienced Something Last Night.
Ooh.
I'm very back and forth when it comes to paranormal activity, whether what I'm seeing/feeling is in my head or paranormal. But my amazing, sweet, elderly neighbor passed away 6 days ago, and his wake was yesterday, which I attended. He was like a grandfather to us. When me and my fiance arrived at his wake, it was hard to accept he was gone. I was a few steps away from his casket. I was tearing up, but I suddenly felt warm, like a warm hug type of warm. When we got outside, I told my fiance about it, and she said she felt like someone held her hand in the same area I felt this warmth. We didn't think anything of it, but strong emotions probably causing it. When we got home, my fiance went to bed. I stayed up and played video games. It was about 11:30. Moments later, my cat jumped down from the top of our couch and went to our front door and stared at it as if someone was on the other side. She was there for probably 5 minutes and then went back to the couch and stared at the door the rest of the night, which was odd to me because she usually faces my direction whenever I'm on the computer. Then I hear a thud on our wood floor. I looked over and both my cats are still sitting there, so I'm not sure what that was. I was freaked out, so I went to bed and I laid down to watch TikToks. 2 minutes passed. I see a shadow beside my fiance. It looked like she raised her hand all the way up and back down, so I wasn't sure if it was her arm. I woke her up and asked her if she just lifted her arm, and she said no.
That would be the funniest thing to get.
Leave me alone.
Honey, did you just lift your arm? What are you talking about? Go to bed.
Oh. So I lay back down with my phone off, afraid to open my eyes. I was just sitting there thinking about how much I miss my neighbor. I felt sad, but suddenly a few minutes later, I felt extremely warm like I did at his funeral.
Aww.
I felt warmth around my back and chest like I was being hugged, and all of my sadness and pain went away. I can't explain it. No matter what I thought about, I felt warm, positive, and safe. I fell asleep right away. Morning comes. I tell my fiance what I felt, and to her surprise, she said, last night it felt like...
I lifted my arm. That's so weird, because last night, all of a sudden, I decided to lift my arm.
I tell my fiance what I felt, and to her surprise, she said, last night I felt like someone was holding her left hand like she felt at his funeral. The same hand I thought I saw she lifted up. So, yeah.
Wow. But, I mean, maybe, can you just hold it while it's laying down? That's so uncomfortable. Not to raise your hand.
I don't want to believe this is just coincidence or stronger emotions making us feel and hear things. But is that him telling us everything will be okay and don't be sad? If it weren't for my cat reacting how she did, I would probably not think anything of this. So, that's it.
Did I misunderstand? Did they say, I don't want to believe, or
They don't want to believe that it's
coincidence.
That it's a coincidence.
They want to believe that it's
their neighbor.
Yeah, so then I think that that's the only thing that matters. I mean, that's kind of what the definition of belief is. It's like, I'm deciding that this is what is real.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And if it brings you comfort, then go for it. I mean, that's
I know
the sweetest story.
It makes me think of, I didn't get hugged or my hand held the other night, but the other night I rarely talk in my sleep anymore, but I did wake up saying, "Oh, monsters, monsters, monsters." I said it like so many times. And God. Kevin was right next to me and I could feel him like kind of like shift over. And then I was like, I'm dreaming. Just went back to sleep. Like in my dream, I remember someone being like, you have to say monsters. And I was like, okay, monsters, monsters.
Dreams are so
weird. Why? Like
what
it wasn't a scary
point?
Dream.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was like
okay,
if someone earlier in the day had been like, you're going to wake up and in order to go back to sleep, you have to say monsters a few times, loud enough to be heard. So I did.
That's so
and then
funny.
I was like, nope, this has nothing to do with anything. Kevin the next morning goes, were you talking in your sleep last night? It's like, yeah, I sure did.
Yep, I'm talking about those monsters.
Sorry
Didn't
about
you see them? No, I think that's a beautiful story, and we should all be so lucky to have such a great neighbor. You're welcome, Erin. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to touch it. I think it's too sweet and too comforting. So I'm glad that you had that experience.
Yeah, me too. It's really nice.
All
right. Well,
okay. So I'm going to read the story that I originally picked out for tonight before Sonia slid into my DM and left us that little treat.
Okay.
So this story I found on Personal Ghost Stories on Facebook.
Okay.
And the author's name is Barbara.
All right. Hey, Barbara.
Hi, Barbara. And we have, I've like, I feel like I just really have to explain some things, like we're paranormal, but we're also comedy and it just sounds so weird. But please trust me. We'll be gentle.
We're nice.
We'll make sure that we are treating your, that sounds weird. We'll be gentle. I'm like strangely sexual. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. I really kind of have been trying to clean up my act tonight.
Just because of Barbara?
Can you tell?
Aww.
Yeah. I feel
Barbara can hang. Every time I hear the word Barbara or the name Barbara, I just think of Shaun of the Dead where he's like, get in the car, Barbara. That's one of my favorite movies.
I love that movie. I need to go back and see it. It's been so long. And you reference it all the time. I'm like, gosh, I don't remember it.
Yeah, there are really parts that don't hold up anymore. But overall, it's just the best. It's so funny.
Okay, so this story is from Barbara. Well, I don't know if this is a ghost experience, but I will start by mentioning back in the 70s, I bought a large boar's head round brush for blow drying. I love that it's the 70s. I love the visual of all of this.
I was thinking ham when she said boar's head.
I know, right?
I didn't know if they had brushes too.
Boar's head, yes. No, so listen to this brush. I mean, it does kind of sound amazing. About 1 foot long.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Okay.
So imagine how long. And about 4 inches wide in the bristle area. It was a good one. Naturally, in those days, it was nowhere near the price that it is now. I did not know actually how much it was. I hope this is a ghost story. It's been a long time since I've read. What if it's just like a story about antiques?
Like a review of brushes.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Naturally, in those days, it was nowhere near the price that it is now. I did not know actually how much it had gone up until this minute when I looked it up as I wrote this out of curiosity. I made penance back then, but I always went to the disco on the weekends.
Oh.
Imagine that, Barbara at the disco.
Barbara can hang. You made me edit out that part about your vag, and she can hang.
I think just shh, hush, 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 hush. Oh, my goodness. I needed that disco look, Farrah Fawcett-ish. I think it was about $8 back then. Now, I am shocked to say it goes for $106.78.
Holy crap. That brush better dry and curl my hair by
itself.
Do it all.
Good grief. Well, that is the story. That is a story for another venue.
Oh, that is the story. I'm like, okay, goodbye.
Turns out we are. We're in the genre of antique brushes. No, she said that's a story for another venue. And then prices. Okay, so here we go. I always kept it in a drawer in our bathroom. We were going on a trip to New York, and I wanted to take it for when I went out. I began gathering things a few weeks before the trip, so I could not forget anything. It was one of the things that I wanted to bring, and I went to the drawer where I always kept it, and of course, it wasn't there. I never move it from that place, and did not use it much as well. Disco is dead. Aww.
Oh, wow.
I don't go out much anymore like I did, but I wanted to do my hair in New York for a nice dinner. So I love this. This took back, got the brush in the 70s.
Yeah.
Has kept it all these years.
Yeah.
Is now going to go out in New York. And it's like, ooh, I'm going to take my disco brush.
Yeah.
So I can go out on the town.
I've got my debunk for you. I've got it.
Oh.
I'm going to wait.
Okay, well, hold on. Maybe you don't. Now I'm on Barbara's side. You leave Barbara alone. A ghost moved her brush.
You're going to love my debunk.
Okay. I never moved it from that place, and I did not use it much as well. Disco is dead. But I wanted to do my hair in New York for a nice dinner out, so I spent about 2 weeks looking all over the house for it, but I never did find it. Hated like heck to have to buy another. Mm-hmm. Prices did go up, but not like now. Mm-hmm. This was 10 years ago. So I got an inexpensive replacement, not boar's head hair. Ugh, that's awful.
Yeah.
Not as big, but cheaper. I was always upset to lose it. Kind of had the memories of those fun days connected to it.
Aww.
Back from my trip, I continued looking for it for months. One day, many months, even a few years later, I think, I slid that drawer open for something else. There it was, in its old place, was my boarhead's brush. I really was stunned. Was it really poltergeist stuff? That drawer is shallow and not heavily filled. The brush fit in the back. Not much else would fit in front of it. It was not there when I looked for it when we got back from our trip. I still am stunned about that one. We have had at least 2 other incidents like this. And then she goes on. And so we'll read Barbara's got several stories. Barbara is one of the top contributors.
Ooh, all right,
for
Barbara.
Personal ghost stories.
Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, she's not making fun of you.
No. Not at all. Please don't think I'm making fun of you.
Right. No, I really want to handle Barbara with care so that she gives us permission to keep reading her stories.
Absolutely. You want to hear my debunk?
Yeah.
It's a time traveler who's trying to save some money.
Ooh, I love that.
They're like, oh, I can't afford 108. I bet I'll go to one of those really hot disco chicks.
Mm-hmm. And Barbara was the hottest.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Did you hear about her hair? It sounded amazing.
Wouldn't you just love to sit down with Barbara and be like, tell us everything?
Yeah, tell me about your weekends at the disco.
Did you go to Studio 54? What was it like? Tell us everything. Yeah. How was John Travolta?
John.
You know John. How was he?
Or could have been Elton.
Yeah. Or, I mean, just any of the Johns.
How are the Johns?
How are the Johns back then? Because I'll tell you right now, today's Johns are not as good as old-timey Johns. No, much like the beaver hair brush. What was it? A boar's head brush. Just don't make them like they used to, Barbara.
You wouldn't talk about veg, but now you're talking about beaver. I'm telling you.
Oh, Barbara, what a good story. You know what it reminds me of? You don't know what it reminds me of?
No, I had a mouthful of wine.
Mom's story. So tonight's kind of the night tonight's kind of the night for reminiscing.
Yeah.
So it reminds me, Barbara, our mom had these, our dad bought her diamond earrings for one of her anniversaries and she loved them and she took them to Italy. They decided to go on this trip for their anniversary, I guess. And they went to Italy and while she was there, she lost these diamond earrings. She got back from her trip. She was like terrified that they were gone. She had this little purple makeup bag that she knew she had put in, which mom,
loose in the bag.
You're just putting brand new diamond earrings. You just take them off, put the backs on them and throw them into your bag. That's not how you do that, Mom.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, that woman, she is too funny. But she gets back from her trip. She's looking everywhere for him. She can't find him. She takes that purple bag, shakes it out, turns it inside out, looks everywhere. She knows for sure they're gone. She does not want to tell her father. She is like terrified, which he's like that. He just laughs. He just shakes his head like, what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
But anyway, doesn't tell our dad. Months go by and she still just cannot find these earrings. So she's sitting on the toilet. What a pleasant.
But anytime she tells the story, that's part of it.
Oh, it's always a part of it. And she tells it to everybody. Like it doesn't matter if you're the preacher. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're the queen. This would be a part of the story. She's sitting on the potty and she just starts saying a prayer. Just, can I please find these earrings? Please, God. I am so, all this stuff. Because she's just distraught. And desperate. And she gets up and she goes to that purple bag and she shakes it real hard one more time and out they come.
Both fell out.
They both fell out.
Yeah, it's weird they both fell out.
Yeah, because they were in a fold, Aaron. They were in a pocket. I'm never going to say that to Diana Clem. Why would I ever say that? I don't want to get smacked in the face. But since the first time I heard that story, I remember thinking, I bet they were just tucked in a little pocket somewhere. But I'm not going to be the one to tell her.
I'm going to tell her. I'm going to make her listen to this
No,
part.
you will not. Barbara, you better come save me. But anyway, but your story, Barbara, I believe it. I don't know how that boar's head. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe, what if it got stuck up inside the drawer somehow? Like maybe something, like you couldn't get the drawer open one day, so you're like fiddling with it, and then it kind of like got jammed up there. And then over time, it just finally fell down.
Yeah, I don't know. Did Barbara have a daughter or anything? That would seem more.
A granddaughter.
Yeah. Any kind of kid who's like, I'm going to sneak in and borrow this because my kids borrow my stuff all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I can't find it until I go look in their room and they're like, oh, yeah, sorry. But maybe their kid was finally like, ooh, I forgot.
Yeah, you're not going to admit it.
Borrowed this.
I'm going to try to find my time to sneak back in and put it back in there.
Yeah.
Yep, that could be, Barbara. Your poltergeist could be named your grandchild or your daughter's name.
Yeah. Or in an alternate universe, you lost that brush or never bought that brush.
Kind of like that one, the best.
And then came back and it popped up. Yeah, I don't know.
Fun.
I love it. It's a great story.
Well, thanks, Barbara.
Yeah, thank you, Barbara.
So in honor of the holiday season coming up, I thought it would be a cute idea to try to find fan favorites of the past who have retail items that you could purchase to help support their small businesses.
Awesome.
Yes, so I'm going to start with Cheryl's business. Cheryl was a fan favorite many moons ago, and Cheryl has an adorable line of jewelry.
Yeah.
And just small little trinkets and things like that she creates. And the name of her company is Tree Frog Jewelry. Tree Frog Jewelry and Metalwork. So you can find her on Instagram and order some lovely pieces just in time for Christmas. Her original plug, she didn't even plug herself, but she actually sent us some really awesome things.
She did. They're really cute. I wore them this Halloween season, little witch hats.
So cute. So I can't because I don't wear jewelry, but that's okay. Erin wore them for me. But her original plug was that she is an occupational therapist and works with children who have special needs in her local schools, and she would love to plug equipment connections for children. HHTPS, all that stuff that Aaron makes fun of me for saying. So really, let's get down to it. www.equipforchildren.org. So if you would like to check that out and donate there, or if you are looking for a fun Christmas gift, definitely make sure you check out her Instagram and order something fun from Instagram. And Cheryl, I hope you're still listening.
Yeah.
We're going rogue here. We're hoping you're still here. And thank you for supporting our small little podcast, and we are honored to help support you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you to the people who let us read their stories this week. If you would like to write in your own story, you can go to our website at myskepticalsister.com, where you can contact us through there. You can also find our P.O. box. You can find out how to become a Patreon. $3 a month will get you a magnet and a sticker and a card, plus bonus content weekly. And $5 a month gets you all that, plus our movie night once a month. Also, here's some news for Megan.
Oh.
I have signed us up for another little, let's say you're like,
this could go either way. I'm like, am I excited or I'm like, ugh.
Let's say you're out there and you're like, I can't afford $3 a month all the time.
Okay.
Which I get. Trust me, I get.
Sure.
But you're like, I wouldn't mind sending them like $5 once.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
You can go to buymeacoffee.com/myskepticaz. I don't know why that's what it is, but that's what they gave us as our handle. So
if it gives me a coffee, I'll take it.
Right? Or, hey, we can pay Rue a little bit more. So
that's right.
That's
and
our
then
goal.
Maybe one day we can meet Rue for coffee.
We're actually buying Rue coffee here because it goes directly to her so I can stop editing forever.
Right.
So if I totally understand, like, I'm not doing this monthly thing, but a $3 donation once would be so helpful. So that'd be great. So check that out. You can also write in to our Gmail at myskepticalsister@gmail.com. You can follow us on our socials, like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. You can rate, review, subscribe anywhere you listen. And Apple Podcasts is being, they got a new update and they're a little bit more difficult. So just make sure you're following us on there. Even if you were following us, just go back and double check that you're following.
What a strange update. So like if my phone is not, like if I don't have enough space.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's trying to save you space so it won't download us unless you listen regularly.
Judge me. I'll decide how much space I need on my phone. Apple.
Yeah, I know. I don't really get it.
They don't own me. Actually, I feel like they do. Right?
They fully own me. I could never go to Android. Are you kidding me?
Consumerism. Get rid of it. We hate it. Let's all go to flip phones. But then how people listen to podcasts? It's such a conundrum.
A vicious cycle.
It is.
All right. Well, if you guys have any ideas on how to dismantle the system, let me know.
Baby steps.
Right. And I think that's everything, right? Rate, review, subscribe, socials. Yeah.
Join that Patreon for a chance to get earrings.
Yes.
And take a stab at it. What are we? Who knows? What character are we for our awkward family photo? And you might just get a card in the mail.
That's right. It sounds good to me. All right. Well, we love you guys. Thank you so much for listening.
Stayin' alive. Stayin' alive.
La 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 la.
I'm just saying.
Okay, I'll take out that whole last line.
Take that out too.
Okay. But it was just a black silhouette, so I wasn't sure if it was her arm. I had like vocal fry there.
Oh, you're just running out of air.
I know, right? All right. Just throw that phone.
Okay, but I'm super excited because we have been waiting for Sonia or Sonia's story.
Let's go, Sonia.
Sonia, I think that's what I called her last week. And she is from Tree Frog Jewelry. Hold on, let me look at the whole handle.
I don't think she's from there.
No, but it's her. It's how do you say that? You know, it's annoying.
You.
Just kidding. What'd you say?
Nothing.
My mother reached out to a Corandaria? What's a Corandaria? Corandaria. No, I just made a Q up. C-U-R.
Hold on, I'm going to type it in.
Curandera. Curandera?
Curandera is how I would say it. Hold on. Curandero. Spain and Latin American, a healer who uses folk remedies.
Ooh, say that again, but like.
Curandero. Oh, okay. I like the definition too. I thought you just wanted to hear how to pronounce it again.
No, because you read the definition like you were unsure, but I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely it. So read it like you are.
Yeah, sure. I'm with you now. I got it now. I got it.